Now first off, armor. You don't exactly have armor. 50 calibers can actually tear you up from the front if you're not careful. As well as your sights are not looking too good either, like 8mm. Small machine guns can actually tear you up from the side. But yeah, if you face anything bigger than the 50 caliber or 37mm, you're pretty much done in this thing. How did it bounce? Hey guys, it's Jim here, and welcome back to another episode of Heroes and Generals vs Warthunder. And in today's episode, we are going up to the next tier of beacon vehicle that you can get in Heroes and Generals. This is the Sdkfz 234-2, also known as the Puma, and it is one of the few most hated vehicles in War Thunder ever. And not hated as in it's trash or anything, it's hated because of how often it's being abused. But thankfully though, the one in Heroes and Generals isn't really that big of a problem. But still though, it is definitely a leap forward, especially when comparing with the 222 with the 20mm. The 50mm it has is definitely a big change compared to a 222, especially after the shell change. So why does everybody hate this thing? If you have been watching YouTube videos on the Puma recently, then you will know that players would actually bring this thing to higher tier battle ratings, including fighting Abrams with this thing. Mainly because of his speed and the okay firepower that it has. I would say good, but there's better guns than this thing. But anyway, it is one of the most hated vehicles because of that. And not to mention, this is not a event premium vehicle, so everybody has it. Now first off, armor. You don't exactly have armor. 50 calibers can actually tear you up from the front if you're not careful. So yeah, beware of who you're facing. Make sure that they don't have a 50 caliber mounted on top of the turret. As well as your sights are not looking too good either, like 8mm. Like small machine guns can actually tear you up from the side. But for some reason the shrapneling doesn't really work too well, so I'm not too fully concerned about it. But yeah, if you face anything bigger than the 50 caliber or 37mm, you're pretty much done in this thing. But what this thing makes up for in lack of armor, it makes up for in mobility. You have 210 horsepower bringing 11.7 tons, so that means, yes, you can go up to 90 kilometers an hour and building up isn't really that big of a deal. So yes, very fast vehicle, so you can get into ambush positions and or use flank and spam maneuvers tactics pretty easily in this thing. And to top it off, you want to relocate this thing after getting 1 or 2 kills in your ambush position. No problem, you can go up to 90 kilometers an hour in reverse and in forwards. So yes, this thing is very mobile. Just 2 things to keep in mind. Firstly, this thing turns quite sharply, which for some people is actually would be a good thing, but the reason is because your 4 pair of wheels are actually all steering wheels, so your turn is incredibly sharp in this thing. And the reason why you need to keep in mind is in case if you're going at full speed and then you make a sharp turn, you're gonna end up drifting this thing. Worst case scenario, you're doing that on a slope, and you're a very narrow structure when you're turning, so you do run the risk of flipping yourself over if you're not careful. And the second thing to take note of is you're a wheeled vehicle, so driving off-road can be a problem. May not be able to speed that quickly, or you won't be able to reach 90 kilometers an hour. And then moving on, the firepower of this thing, this is the KWK-39 50mm cannon. This is more or less the same gun you find on the Panzer III. As you can see, 50mm KWK-39 cannon. But anyway, as far as the 50mm goes, this is the round that we'll be firing. The Panzergranate 39 armor-piercing cap shell that pens up to 106mm of armor. If you think this shell lags a little bit, especially when you're comparing with the Panzer IV 75mm, well, it's really not. If you played the Sherman 75mm or the British 57 or the 75mm as well, then this shell should not be a big of a problem for you. Just be careful about one thing though, you only have 17 grams of explosive mass, so that means if you shoot at a awkward area or if you're facing tanks like Shermans or Cromwells or Churchills, one of those tanks that have a really spaced out crew space, yeah, you may find that one-shotting them by crewmen isn't really that easy. But hey, at least you got explosive mass, so it's not too difficult. Now you do have APCR, I say maybe bring at least around 10 or so, or maybe not at all. But at most, you just bring this just in case you come across a tank you cannot penetrate, especially from the sides. But otherwise, most of the time, the armor piercing cap round should be able to do most of the work. Now you do have a 792 MG42 machine gun right here, but I say maybe bring around 5 high explosive shells, in case you come across one of those milk truck SPAs. And then the other aspects of the gun, you can carry up to 55 rounds of ammunition. I just say bring as many as you want, because if you bring like 25 rounds or so, they're all going to be down here, plus 2 more somewhere around here. Yeah, this bottom here only holds 23 rounds. And if you carry only 23 rounds, it's not going to be enough, especially when you need to like mix and match with different types of shells. And if you bring more than 23 shells, yeah, they're all going to be up here. Now the reloading speed of this thing, you do reload as fast as 5 seconds, which is actually pretty excellent for a flying and spank vehicle, especially one that has this kind of firepower. But what makes this thing even scarier is that if you put points in your crewmen, especially tank loader and tank commander, and then making them expert crewmen, the reloading can be as fast as 4 seconds. Yeah. Vertical guidance, negative tank gun depression, which is pretty excellent for a flanking and spanking or ambush tactic vehicle. Targeting speed 13 degrees a second, which is not too bad. Most of the German tanks in this battle rating have that kind of targeting speed. The only problem is that considering how fast you can move and turn in this thing, there will be moments where you wish your targeting speed is a little bit faster. And finally, no gun stabilizer, another thing to keep in mind, because doesn't matter how fast you're going, the gun does bounce quite a fair bit. So that's something you need to keep in mind. And so all in all, how does this thing perform against the one in Euros and Generals? Honestly, I don't really know too well because I didn't really play the Puma in Euros and Generals. I mean, I guess survivability is better for the one in Euros and Generals, because if you play hold down, yeah, they're not gonna kill you that easily, especially with this thing right here. But then again, if it's supposed to be a flank and spank vehicle, it's really not a good one, because again, in Heroes and Generals, the map design. What's the point of you going fast, flanking and spanking and pushing enemy tanks, if the game is just gonna bottleneck you at a bridge or river fort anyway? At least for War Thunder, the map design actually allows that, and it's pretty much the reason why nobody likes you if you play this thing. But anyway, that's all I gotta say about the Puma. Now let's take this thing on to battle, and hopefully I can do my best with this thing, because if there's something I'm really not good at in War Thunder, it's flanking and spanking and ambush tactic. I don't religiously memorize every single map, mind you. Guys, just shoot that turret! Go on his flank! Where are you going? I can just kill a KV-1 that's like that. Whatever happened to the whole breach will eat the shot thing? Oh dear. Thank you. Even though I'm the one who's setting on fire. The last guy's probably in a plane. Remember me, boys.
Most of the zones are under control.
God, this thing is loud as hell. cannot be serious with that first shot, man. What the hell?
Across the zones.
I do not like this spot at all. Oh, there is somebody you do not want to toy with. No! Don't do it! Oh, come on. Give that to me, man. Come on. Drive a little more.
Attention to the map. Capture most of the strategic zones.
Oh, this will be the commander. Hurry up, hurry up. Yeah. I'm just gonna leave him. Ah, damn it. Order for 1T34.
Victory is close.